Welcome to the Basha High registration presentation for school year 2021-2022. We've got a lot of stuff to go over. We'll get started, and hopefully by the time we're done, you'll know how to do all this stuff online. All right, so in this first slide, we just want you to see who your counselors are. Make sure you know based on the alpha split to the left there who you belong to, and then you can see they have the email address to the right. So if you have questions when this is all done, if you need help with registration, you can always email your counselor. Okay, so on this slide, we're going to review graduation requirements. So in the middle column, you can see that in order to graduate from Basha, you need 4 years of English, 4 years of math, 3 of a lab science. You're going to have 3 units of social studies. You're going to either have a career tech class or a fine art class. So you can see you need 1 credit of one of those 2 things. Foreign language, you don't need that to graduate, so there's no credits listed there. Physical education, we need 1 full credit of PE, whether that be through PE, weight training class, athletic locker class, a dance class, lifeguard training, weight training, or you can do your 3 semesters in marching band or 3 semesters in ROTC. Comprehensive health requires it's a 0.5 credit, a half a year class, 1 semester. Got to have that. And then you need your 5.5 electives of 5.5 credits of elective courses, which will total out to 22 credits. Over on the right-hand side, you can see the Arizona state requirements for universities in Arizona. So for that, you can see in the first 2 sections, actually the first 3 sections, it's exactly the same as the graduation requirements. You need the 4 English, the 4 math, and the 3 science. When you get down to social studies, you'll actually see that there's 2 less credits required. What that means is you have to have American Arizona or U.S. history, and then you can choose from your other 2 which ones you want to submit. And then in the career tech, education, fine arts, that's the same as graduation. Foreign language here, you do need 2 credits, and what they really mean by 2 credits is the second level. So as long as you've taken Spanish 2, French 2, Mandarin Chinese 2, American Sign Language 2, as long as you get to that 2, that second level, that counts as 2 units of a foreign language for college placement. So if you, as a freshman, took Spanish 2, you're good to go, just as an example. There's no PE requirement, no health requirement. So those first 16 are your core requirements for college. Those are the 16 credits they're going to refer to when they're looking at you for acceptance to their university. All right, I want to remind you guys that we will be doing credit checks, and I'll go into that a little more detail at the end of the presentation, but we will be meeting with all of you guys individually to review your credits and to make sure you register for the right stuff. So don't panic. When you look at this stuff, we're going to explain it in detail, but we're going to go over it again with you in person to make sure you pick the right classes. As you're picking classes, it's very important that you choose alternate courses. Okay, so when you pick your classes, you're going to have opportunity to pick all 6 of your courses for next year, plus a couple of alternatives. Those alternatives are important because as we tweak schedules and try to fit everything and build our master schedule, sometimes classes disappear, they're full, they don't make it. Those alternates are what we're going to put you in if your first choice doesn't make it. And we're going to do that probably in the summertime when you're not available to us. The course catalog is available online. So there's a link on here that you can see, and then you can also just search it on the district website, but that's where you can go to look in more detail about the courses that are being offered. Just as a note, this whole presentation will be listed on the Basha website. So this entire PowerPoint you can view if you go to the Basha website, go to departments, then go to counseling, and then go to your grade level. Whether you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, click on that, and you're going to have access to this PowerPoint. You can look over it again, or you can, if your family, parent wants to see it and see what you learned, they can do that. All right, so here's an example of a worksheet. Now, you guys were handed this by your teacher. Obviously, this is a senior one. Depending on what grade level you're in this year, you'll get the one that's relevant to you. But the format of the sheet is the same for everybody, just the classes on each one are listed a little differently. So this is what you're going to use to fill out in preparation for going online and doing your actual registration. So this is kind of like a practice sheet. You can fill this out as you're watching this presentation. Okay, so here is our math flowchart. The most important thing you can do to prepare yourself for the next class of math or to pick the next course of math for you is one, review this, but is really to talk to your current math teacher. Your current math teacher is going to give you the path that you should be taking. They're going to tell you what the next class is for you based on how you're doing in your class. For some courses, there's no choice. There's only one option to go to next. So I advise you, though, to talk to your math teacher and ask them what they believe you should be taking next year for math. So you're going to follow these arrows. Everybody's in a different place, along with talking to your teachers, and pick your next math course in the sequence. All right, some of you may need to add a 0 hour. You may choose to because you want to take 7 classes. You may need to, whether it's for seminary or another reason. Please remember when you're choosing your 0 hour classes that you only choose it from the 0 hour class option. So in the forms that you're being given with all the list of classes, there's a section that shows just the 0 hour courses. So if you're going to choose a 0 hour, make sure you choose it from that area. If you're going to take seminary, you either have to take a 0 hour class in addition to your 6 periods, or you're going to have to take an online class, because you can't just take 5 classes plus seminary. You have to take 6 credit-bearing classes each year. All right, so let's get into online registration. The first thing you're going to do is go to Infinite Campus, log in. Once you're on there, on the bottom left-hand side, you're going to see this More button. When you click More, it'll then get this screen up here that you see right here. On this screen, you're going to select this tab right here where it says Course Registration, Course Registration. And that's what you're going to click in order to register for your classes. Once you've clicked that Course Registration button, this year for the first time you have 2 options. You can enroll through COA, you can enroll, which is Chandler Online Academy, you can enroll through BASHA, BHS. You're going to be able to choose which one or both. So if you want to do all your classes through Chandler Online, you're going to click this tab. If you want to do all your classes through BHS, you're going to click this tab. If you want to combine them, you're going to click on both and do a couple at a time. So if, let's say, for example, you could do 1 class at Chandler Online and the rest at BASHA. You could do 2 classes and 4 at BASHA. You could do 3 and 3, and then vice versa. Whichever way you want to do it is fine. It's your choice. So we're going to start out with a BASHA registration. So what you would do is you'd click this tab right here. This is BHS Regular. When you click on that, you're going to get a screen that looks like this. There's nothing in it yet. So the first thing you need to do is go to this tab right here where it says Add a Course. This will be your first step, whether you're on the COA site or our site. So you click on Add a Course, and then you're going to get a screen that appears like this. Once you're on this screen, in the Search Course dialog box right here, you can type in the name of a subject, the name of an actual class, the first few letters of a class. So you're going to type in here, and that is going to then bring up below a list of classes that fit what you've typed in. So for example, this person typed in dance or advanced, and so we got this. So if you chose advanced dance, you type that in, it came up. There's 2 different ways to add that to your course selection. You can click right away. You can click on this plus button right here. If you click on the plus button, the next screen that comes up will tell you and ask you the question, do you want to request this as a course, or do you want to request it as an alternate? You pick whichever one you want. So if I request it as a course, it'll go into my course request schedule. The other way to do it, if we go back to that previous page, instead of clicking this plus button, you can actually click on the title of the class. When you click on the title of the class, it'll bring up the description of the course. So on this slide, you could look and make sure, hey, this is the right class, this is what I want, and you read the description. If you like what you see and you're going to choose this class, at the bottom of this page, and you'll see it on the next slide, you scroll all the way to the bottom, and I'll let that box get out of my way here. The bottom of the page, after the course description, there's a tab down there that says Add Request. So you can either add it again. From this page, you can add it as a request or as an alternate, either way. So you do it either by pushing the plus button and then add it to request, or you click on the title, read the description, and then add it to the request. Once you've added it, you're going to get a running total of your classes. So here it is with, excuse me, with 1 class in it. So you can see it has advanced dance. And then under advanced dance, you can see right here, it says DAN 300B. That's the course number. That B is important. That B means it's for second semester. When you sign up for advanced dance semester 1, you're going to have DAN 300A. Any class you're going to take for the entire year, you need to have an A and a B for that class. So you're going to do 2 separate selections for each year-long class. Over to the right here, you can see that this class is worth 2 units. A unit is a quarter. So because I selected second semester of dance, I've got third and fourth quarter in second semester, which means it's 2 units. And then up here at the top, you can see it does a running count of how many units I've registered for total. So right now it says 2 out of 28. When you're all done, it's going to say 24 out of 28. The reason it's 24 is you're going to select 6 classes worth 4 units apiece equals 24. So you'd only have 28 if you were going to go over and take 7 classes. Okay, so we were looking for 24 out of 28 on this. So we got our first 2. All right, so now if you make a mistake or you change your mind, anytime you want, whether it's during the registration process or after you've picked all your classes, you go in, you click on the title of the class that you want to take out. When you click on the title at the bottom, it's going to say, do you want to switch this to an alternate or do you want to delete the request? You can select this box down here that says delete request. When you select that, it'll take it out of your schedule, out of your course request, and then you can pick something else. So that's very easy to do. You can always change it. All right, so new for this year, because we talked about you being able to register either at COA, Chandler Online Academy, or at Basha, we need to make some adjustments. So like I was just talking about, we need your running total when you're all done to be 24 out of 28. So as an example, if you were to take your 4 core classes, English, Math, Science, Social Studies at Basha, but take your 2 electives at Chandler Online Academy, you would only have 4 classes here, and those each worth 4 units. So you'd only have 16. Well, 16 is not enough. It's not going to be a complete schedule. It needs to be 24. The way we get those additional 8 units is you go back into your BHS, and where you type in where you're looking for a schedule or for a class, instead of typing in, art or PE or whatever, you're going to type in right here, COA. When you type in COA, that holds a spot as an elective for the 2 classes that you would have been taking at COA in the example I gave you. So you'd put COA in the search and you'd add that. That way, when you're all done, you're going to end up with this 24 out of 28 total here. You'll be putting those COAs in there to fill the spots for the 2 classes, as an example, 2 classes that you're going to take at Chandler Online Academy instead of Basha. Okay. Obviously, we're only doing this if we're going to take classes at Chandler Online in addition to Basha classes. Here's an example of 3 different schedules. So this is what, when you're all done, this is what it's going to look like if you're a sophomore, a junior, or a senior. It's going to have all your classes listed, laid out. Okay. So you can see up here, for each grade level, kind of we did a big breakdown of typical courses that might be taken by a sophomore, junior, senior. And at the bottom are the alternates. I'm going to show you a close-up of what this looks like. So this is in general. And so here's an example of a finished one that this happens to be a senior schedule. So you can see on here that we've got A and B for English 12. So that's why it's here twice. So we got a first semester and a second semester. We got 2 units and 2 units. So this whole class equals 4 units. We have the same thing with pre-calc. We have it down below when you skip down a little bit to childhood education. And then because it's a senior, this person's not taking a 5th or 6th hour. So, but then you can see here, econ and government are single semester classes. So there's no A or B on the number. So you would take econ for 1 semester, worth 2 units. You take government for the other semester, worth 2 units. And then we have exactly what we need up here, 24 to 28, 24 out of 28 units. So that's an example of what it should look like when it's all said and done. When you get to that part and it's all done and you've picked all your classes that you want and you're confident about what you've selected, you've reviewed it with your family, they're pretty confident you picked the right stuff, you've talked to your teachers, they told you, yep, this is the right next class for you. We want you to print it out. So when you have that sheet where you're looking at all your classes listed, including your alternates down there at the bottom, then you're going to hit the print button at the very bottom. You're going to print it out. You're going to give it to your parent or guardian. You're going to have them sign off on it, and that's what you're going to bring back to your English teacher. Okay? So that's really important that you complete all this. I advise you to go home and do it today. You've seen the presentation. It's fresh in your mind. You know how to do it. Go home, pick your classes, print it out, have your parent or a guardian sign it, bring it into your English teacher. Okay? Now, I know this is a different process a little bit. I mean, we've been doing online registration for a while, but how it's being presented to you is a little different. And you can't ask us a question right there on the spot. So you can email us, and we'd like you to. If you have a question about this process, please email your counselor. Please also review this with your family. Okay? Okay, I want to go over some dates, so you might want to write this down. Like I told you earlier in the presentation, I would talk to you about credit checks. We are going to meet with all of you prior to setting this schedule in stone. So you're going to go home, you're going to register online, you're going to get it all set, you're going to print it out, you're going to bring it to your teacher, and then you're going to sit down with us, your counselors, individually. So if you are a junior, we will be meeting with you either Thursday or Friday, January 28th or 29th, or Wednesday and Thursday, February 3rd and 4th. So it's over 4 days. So one of those 4 days, you're going to meet with your counselor one-on-one, review your credits, make sure you're on track, review what you picked for your classes for next year. And if there's anything wrong, we'll make an adjustment there. If you have any questions, that'll be a good time to ask it. And then we'll lock it in place so it's ready for next year. If you are a sophomore, we will be meeting with you February 22nd through February 25th. So sometime over those 4 days, you'll be sitting down with your counselor if you are a sophomore. Freshman, you will be meeting with your counselor Tuesday, February 16th through Friday, February 19th. So again, everybody's going to sit down with their counselor one-on-one and review this stuff. In the meantime, prior to meeting with us, if you've got a question that you just need to know so you can finalize what you've done on your schedule requests, email your counselor. We'll be watching those emails, and we will answer you very quickly. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for staying on top of this. Go home and do it tonight. It'll be hopefully a much better year next year, much more smooth. Hopefully we'll all be in person all year long and we'll get to see all your faces. Have a great rest of your day and good luck with picking your classes.